up? I just realized I have to turn the music down. Hello. Happy Wednesday. That's what day it is. It's Wednesday. Wowza. Um, that's just the kind of day we are having. Welcome to Desserts with the Diva. I, of course, am your diva, Brianna, also known as Diva and the Divine, here on YouTube, Instagram, and all across the internet. And I am so glad that you are coming to hang out with me today. I hope that that little intro thing actually worked the way it was supposed to. Did it work? On my end it worked. I don't know about yours, but on my end it worked. I thought it was just a fun little thing. It solves a problem that I have of like wanting to wait a minute to allow YouTube to do its thing, right? And having a countdown timer actually helps me solve that problem. Hello, Rosie. Hello, Lissa. Good to see both of you. So it is Desserts with the Diva, which means if you are having dessert tonight, you should have brought it to the live stream with you. I already ate mine, full transparency, but I brought proof of what I ate, and it was, as you can tell, a Cadbury cream egg. These are actually pretty solid in their macro balance. Not gonna lie, they're only 150 calories, and they can fit right on in to every day that I've had one so far. And it makes it really, really easy. I have started. Hello, April. Good to see you. I have started finishing up. And I talk about this in the vlog, which is why it's fresh in my brain. I just finished editing a vlog from Tuesday, and in it, I talk about how I'm trying to merge my dessert. Like I'm no longer, I haven't been for about a week or so. I'm trying to eat my dessert because my dessert's never that large. Immediately following dinner. So like dinner and dessert are one instance of eating, and then I'm done instead of causing my insulin to spike again later. We'll see how that works. I'm working on reintroducing a little bit of intermittent fasting into my life, and I'm working on I'm listening to all of the nutrition stuff, you guys. I'm listening to all of like the books. I just finished Obesity Code. I did Iodine Crisis this month, and I just started. Scribed has the audiobook version of Body Love by Kelly LeBeck, which you guys know I've read like 3 times already. But because I was influenced by the listening of Obesity Code, because there's a lot of stuff in the Obesity Code, and that's by Dr. Jason Fung. It's a super, super popular book. And a lot of the science in there makes a lot of sense. And so all listening to him ramble on got me thinking about Body Love, because a lot of the information is very, very similar. So I started listening to Kelly LeBeck read her own book today, just to kind of have it fresh in my mind and everything. And all that to say, I'm working on fine-tuning some things nutritionally just to see what they do, if they do anything. I don't know. But anywho, it seemed to work. Oh, all right. I can click on comments. It didn't come in with you mid-sec. Okay, good. Yeah, and that's what I was hoping, because like it switched in front of me, and I started talking when I saw my face come up, which is good. April's here. I had cake, but I wanted to be ready for bed. Yep. I want to be ready for bed too. I have a headache and I'm tired. I'm hormonally over it. I'm hormonally over it, to say the least. But we are persisting through the day. Let's see. What other fun things? As you can tell, I got StreamYard back. I wanted to mess around with it. What do I have going on? Oh, I made a little banner for highs and lows, folks. It was brought to my attention that since we are back to doing weekly live streams, it would make perfect sense to bring back my little segment called Highs and Lows, where we share both our successes and our highs, our happy moments from the week, as well as our struggles or our lows or the not so great things that happened to us this week. So if you would like to share your highs and lows in the chat, I would love to hear about them. But if we're also doing drinks with the Diva, then I'm set. I have pineapple raspberry seltzer. Interesting. I have water. Shocker. So I'm so glad, Rosie. I'm glad we could bring it back. Let's see. Highs and lows. What are my highs and lows this week? Oh, my high was Sunday. Why? For a multitude of reasons. It was on the calendar the first day of spring, and Praise Jesus. That's step 1 to actually getting through this, right? Like, it's not, although you wouldn't be able to tell now, it's not perfect here in Minnesota. There was a fresh layer of snow on the ground this morning, but on the first day of spring, it was like 59 degrees outside. It was sunny, and it was a perfect day. We actually got up and got put together and went to church, and then my husband and I went on a little day date. We went out to lunch at this cute little Irish pub, and it was good. It was a great day. We came home and were a little bit productive. He did some house cleaning. I did major house cleaning yesterday, but he did some house cleaning. I was up here doing some stuff, and it was just the perfect day. It was just the perfect day. And my low, probably TMI, y'all, but Aunt Flo has not started yet, and I'm just like she's knocking, and I'm just like, "Come on, so that we can get this over with." Because an interesting thing that I've learned about cycles, the last handful of cycles, did you know that while a 28-day cycle is considered normal, it's actually like a 27 through like 31 or 32 or maybe even 35-day cycle that's actually normal. And I turned 35 and my cycle started getting longer, which is infuriating. Like, it's not infuriating. I just have to know. Like, if my body could just go, actually, instead of 28 days, we're now doing 32 days. Okay, you're welcome. Like, if it would just tell me that and confirm that for me, like if it could write me a note so I can stop screwing around with all of this anticipatory putting up with PMS for more than a week, thinking it's only going to be a week. Like, if that sort of nonsense, if my body could just be like, actually, this is how we're going to do it now, that would be really helpful. But alas, the human body does not work like that. So that's my low, which is why I'm hormonally over it. I'm like, come on, let's just. But here we are. We are here, and it's fine. It is fine. Let's see. I've been in this weird, dizzy, headachy mood all days. Not fun. That's probably my current low. Yeah, well, living like that is not fun at all. My high is a little over a week, but definitely presenting in California at the conference and just traveling. Low is how crappy I've been feeling since coming back. Yeah. I'm so glad you had a great time traveling and you had the opportunity to travel. That is something that a lot of us used to take for granted that we don't anymore, being able to just get up and go. So I'm glad you had a great time. I'm sorry that you're still not feeling well. That really is a bummer. Had a list of things that went wrong, but also immediately ended up working out for my benefit yesterday. So that was nice. And I have a new coffee maker that I can program. Programmable coffee makers are 100% necessary, in my humble opinion. I keep wanting to, I go through all of these different phases with coffee, y'all. Like, I still want an espresso. I really, really do. But the thing is, I'm worried about, like, once I get one, what if I'm just like, meh about it? And then I have it. And then, like, what do I do with it if it's not like the most exquisite thing I've ever had on a regular basis? Then I wasted all the money and my husband can go, I told you so. When we just use drip coffee maker. And then I also want to be like, should we get the coffee maker that has like the programmable grinder and everything? Because the whole grinding thing is awesome, but it's also a pain in the neck. And then you can't pre-program your coffee if you want to grind it right before you use it. Coffee is a whole thing with me. It's a whole thing. But first and foremost, the programmable coffee maker. That just makes my morning. It makes my morning every morning. And I don't have COVID. Oh, good. Well, at least you don't have COVID. I'm sorry that you're feeling terrible, but that's awesome that you don't have COVID, because that's definitely a worry. I think my low's related to my body adjusting to caffeine, pushing through. Searching for my perfect travel mug. Contigo. Oh, you don't like hot coffee. Never mind. I was like, Contigos are the best, and they're like $16 on Amazon or something. They're the best. That's all we use. We got them, the story of our Contigo. I did not know that Contigos existed, right? And then for our wedding, randomly, like Eric's great aunt or something bought us the set of 2 Contigo mugs, and we're like, "Oh, that's nice." Like, it was nothing like exquisitely wedding related and nothing we actually asked for or anything like that. We're like, "Oh, okay, great. Thank you." And sent her a note and everything. And then, like, months later, we needed a travel mug for something, and so we started using them, and we were shocked. We were absolutely shocked at how well these Contigo mugs kept our coffee hot, and we have not turned back ever since. We have like 4 or 5 of them in this house now. They are amazing. Amazing. Maybe go to the Nespresso boutique. They give you free coffee, or did before COVID. Yeah, I do. I need to go over to the Mall of America, and I keep thinking about that. I went there once and got one, and I can't remember if I was like it was fine. It was fine. But like I want to go like a couple times, but I don't go over to the mall anymore. I'm getting there. I'm getting very close to being like, you know what I need to do? I need to go mall walking and make a couple stops at the mall. And and then I would go to the boutique and see if they would give me coffee for sure. Hi, I got the garage and closets cleaned out. Low, I found out I have to get my wisdom teeth out. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a negative experience with it. I got them out my freshman year of college, but I hear the older you get, the more painful it has the likelihood of being. So that's a bummer. I did look at the grind and brew from what I read. Grinding fresh daily only makes a huge difference if you get freshly roasted beans. Oh, so you have to upgrade the coffee experience anyway. Okay. And part of me is like, and the other part of me is like, what if I just treat myself every once in a while? Do you guys remember when I ordered from Trade Coffee Company? That company, like you place an order and then like they roast the beans that week and send them out to you. And I remember like loving that cup of coffee. And now, of course, I can't remember like, was I not a coffee snob then? And that's why I remember it being so good, or is it actually that good? And should I order? I went and like hunted down the name of this coffee. It is by the brewer called Brewer Grinder Coffee Roaster called Sight Glass, and it was like their Totoki or something like that. I remember it because I remember liking it and going, oh, I'll have to get this again. So maybe that's where I start with like a special cup of coffee in the morning or something. Like make a smaller pot of the real good stuff and then make some Starbucks later or something. Do, 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 do. If you don't do espresso based drinks, the cafe au lait or cappuccino. Ooh. Ooh. Oh yeah, and I guess are you talking about at the Nespresso bar? Because I just got the I think like a drip. I don't actually remember what I got. Shelly, hello. It's good to see you. No problem at all. Lindsay, hi. First of all, hi, your house is clean. Best feeling ever. Low, I was so focused on cleaning the house, I forgot. Oh no. Now, did you notice a difference? That is the question. Now I have to know, did you notice a difference? I have halved my relight and I went up to 7 drops today and I have a headache now, and I don't know if it's just because of the hormones and the fact that like my period is just like right there and just needs to come and relieve me of all the stress. Or is it the iodine? That's what I don't know. Or do I just have a headache? I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. I do like hot coffee and I've had Contigo mugs. I just like my coffee's a few degrees cooler. Yeah, I like my coffee hot. Hot and fresh, baby. Hot and fresh. I want something where I can open vent the mug. Oh, yeah, no, the Contigo is not for you. My husband actually will leave it open on the counter for about 10 minutes before he closes it to cool things down. I love that our conversations always come back to coffee. Look, there are toppings. There are 3 topics that will always come up on my live streams: coffee, cake, and Harry Potter. Without fail. Without fail, those topics are always welcome conversation. Hi, Julie. It is good to see you. Oh my goodness. I noticed a major difference in energy, stamina, attitude towards the girls, all negative response. So interesting. So interesting. I have been noticing that like I've gotten an energy bump. It's not like the crazy wahoo or whatever boing. That's what they use. The word they use, boing moment. But I have noticed since I got up to 6 drops, I have noticed that my energy is more sustained throughout the day. And even when I'm feeling tired, even like at the end of the day yesterday, you'll see this in the vlog that I vlogged yesterday. My husband went to work yesterday, you guys. My husband went to that should have been my high, actually. My husband went to work yesterday from 6:30 p.m. until or a.m. until 7:30 p.m. I had no other human in the house and I got so much work done. I vlogged the day for you. It's a lot of me talking cuz My husband wasn't here, so I talked to the camera a lot more. But it was a really great day. And at the end, you could tell how exhausted I was. I got 13,000 steps yesterday. No workout, none, zero, all housework. But like at the same time, I still mentally felt energized. Like, not like I could go and conquer a whole nother day, but even though I was physically tired and at like 7 and 8 p.m., like that's okay. Like, be physically tired. And I crashed on the couch or on the floor, technically, to play with Gracie for like an hour. I still like it wasn't like this draining, like eyelids super heavy level of tired, even when I was going to bed. I fell asleep immediately, but I just feel like things are so much more sustained. And like even today, I have to wonder how crappy would I feel because I have not been feeling great today. I'll be honest with you. I had to lead a healthy meeting and put on like that happy face, and I'm here and I'm bringing all the energy I've got. But like I have to wonder how much worse off would I be if I didn't have the iodine in my system. Let's see. Didn't we get you to buy a coffee grinder? Yes. Yes. I have the coffee grinder. I have it. And when I first got our Costco membership, this is when I learned that they do not sell ground Starbucks coffee. They only sell Starbucks beans. So I actually had to bust out the coffee grinder for the big bag of organic winter Starbucks beans I purchased. And like I will go through and I grind enough to fill up my canister, and then I'll put it all back downstairs. And then when it was empty, I grinded the other half of the bag. But yes, I have a good coffee grinder. I mentioned coffee and cake. You added Harry Potter, so we're good. Yes, I did. I did add it to the description. Oh, I skipped that. Home Alone days are so awesome. It was the best. It was the best. I should change Q&A time. There we go. I've got so many features, and I'm trying to like learn how to like be able to change things without looking like this all the time. I'm working on it. Da, da, da. Isn't that great? Sometimes the peace and quiet, y'all. Like, first of all, it was quiet, dead quiet in the morning. It was amazing because even Gracie doesn't bother me in the morning. Dead quiet in the morning. And then I had my audiobook that I actually left playing in my ear, and I was listening to the obesity code until my AirPods died yesterday. Then when my AirPods died, I was like, okay, time to switch gears. So I turned on music on the Amazon Echo and let it play loudly throughout the entire house. And then I said, I called her name and said, turn it up. And it was loud and I was singing along, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And I had all of the loudness out of my system. I was also like projecting while I was vlogging yesterday. I was like, guys, I'm actually projecting and speaking loudly. This is amazing. I loved it. It was a great day yesterday. It was a great day. What is iodine supposed to help you with? There is a long list of things. One of the primary things it's supposed to help you with is thyroid health, but it also, for women, it also supposed to help a lot with breast health, like people with fibroids or breast cancer, and like there's a whole lot of stuff. Lindsay, our buddy Lindsay over here, this is Lindsay. She started telling me that I should take iodine after I kept complaining about how freaking tired I was and how like my head feels like it's in this unfocused fog. And she's like, you got to start taking iodine. So, because I should basically just have a segment on my channel called Lindsay Made Me Do It, I purchased all the things she told me to purchase and did the work, did the research, listened to the book, and started on iodine a week ago Tuesday. And lo and behold, I feel a lot better than I did last week. Like a lot better. And my energy is a lot more sustained. And I'm not even to like I don't know if it's called the optimal dose or just like the dose that people are like iodine specialists are telling you to do or whatever, but it's like 50 milligrams or something, and the dosage I'm at is not even half that yet, so I still have to increase. Lindsay is killing it at like beyond the dose, and she feels like Superwoman. So that was like really, really basic information. I saw your super sticker. Thank you. And I, of course, can't see what the super sticker is because I'm not over on YouTube. I'm on, what's it called? Now I want to go look. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. I'm going to go look. Why can't it just show me my live stream right there on YouTube? Why can't it do that? Half the time it does that, but why not this time? Rude. YouTube. I want to look because if you bought me a sticker, I should see what the sticker is. So there's that. Oh, it's a coffee guy. I love him so much. Thank you. That is so cute. Oh my gosh. Starbucks will grind the Thank you. Thank you. Not kidding. Like the whole big bag. I didn't even think to take it to a Starbucks and get it ground for me. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that. Like, I can do it at home, but I can only do it like 18 cups at a time. And so it takes me like half an hour and a big mess to do with the coffee grinder. Um, and like I love that I have the coffee grinder, but oh my goodness, it it's such a process. Take it to Starbucks. Thank you for that. Seriously. You win the gold star of the night for best piece of advice. I'm still a semi-snob. I grinded the night before. I upgraded to dark roast. I tell you, I used to be a medium and light roast girl. And I mean, I also used to be wow, we really are on the topic of coffee, aren't we? I used to be a flavored coffee girl. Remember when I recently just took that, like ordered that whole big Bones coffee thing? I gave literally all of it to my sister. I was like, every flavor. I'm sure it tastes fine. I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. And I'm just like, wow. Wow. So and they're all medium roasts too. I love me my Cafe Verona dark roast Starbucks, tastes like coffee, puts and I'll use nut pods in it. It's the only flavoring I use lately is nut pods. But man, have I become a coffee snob. And like I don't even like I'm very particular about the flavors. I'd be very curious. And the only problem is I don't want to spend the money on the creamer if I don't think I'm going to use it. But like I would really love to go and like buy myself a natural bliss creamer or even just a regular flavored creamer or something and try it, but I feel like I'm not going to like it and I don't have enough people around here that I can just like give it to a friend if I decide that I don't like it, you know. um Coffee problems. Okay, but the unfocused fog thing, yes, that's what it was. I felt so bad last week, and I can't like I know the time change had something to do with it, but like, and like for quite some time now, I've really been just having like an unfocused fog is really the best way for me to describe it. I've just been not at all motivated, but like I'm not burnt out. But like I like in terms of like YouTube, I'm actually jazzed because like I went ahead and like did the work to create my new YouTube identity and like I'm doing a lot of the mental work of being like let's pretend we're starting over so I'm not mad that like my views are low and things like that. Like let's just pretend that I don't have 26,000 subscribers and let's just pretend I have 26 subscribers and like start from there. Like I'm actively doing that mental work. So I'm actually really pumped about YouTube and everything. But at the same time, I'm just so, I've been so just, I feel like kind of like moving through molasses and like unable to really get excited about anything. That's how it's been. Um, and then like I haven't had that this week. I have been tired after a thorough day of doing things. And like today I don't feel great, but Aunt Flo is knocking on the door. So like I'm not gonna feel great, you know? Like I have a legitimate reason for why I feel terrible today. But I'm still like I really don't think that I would have the energy to even pretend I have energy for you if I didn't take the iodine this morning. It's the only thing I've changed. It's the only thing I've changed. I've changed my meal timings a little bit, and I've reintroduced intermittent fasting a little bit, like I mentioned. Um, but Lindsay, sidebar, because I haven't Marco Polo'd you about this today. I finished Obesity Code. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if he's the dude that talks about intermittent fasting, nowhere in the book does he actually talk about like 16/8 intermittent fasting. It was all about like 24-hour intermittent fasts and 48-hour and week-long fasts and things like that, but not actually the day-to-day intermittent fasting. Unless I zoned out during that part of the book. I don't remember hearing it. And I was like, wait a second. What about the everyday intermittent fast? What are we supposed to do then? And I wanted to ask you because I'm like, did I just not see it? I don't know. It's possible. But yes, the unfocused fog thing. Like it's really something. Um I would have never thought to take it to Starbucks. And like I should have. I did during Christmas time. I went to Starbucks and the Starbucks in Target because I wanted Christmas blend, not holiday blend, because I finally understood, thanks to Lissa, who explained it to me like probably 4 times in our relationship together. She's like, the Christmas blend and the holiday blend are 2 different blends. Christmas blend is dark roast. And for whatever reason, I know she told me this in years past, and like it didn't click until last year, this year, maybe last year. And so I finally was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to treat myself to the dark roast of the holiday version. So I went to the Target Starbucks and they grinded it for me right there because they only had beans. They only had beans. Costco told me sometimes I drop it off and come back later. Oh my gosh. Life-changing. Life-changing information. Lindsay made me do it is an ideal segment. Yes, if the video's not up already, I think the video's up already, isn't it? I definitely called it Lindsay made me do it. I 100% did. I will not be without my iodine ever. Yeah. I bought the anniversary blend from Starbucks. That I have not purchased. Look into it. Yeah. And I'm in no way a medical professional. I'm just somebody doing this experiment on herself, but I cannot deny that my energy has been night and day different since about Saturday. I need a medium to dark roast for my coffee too. I believe it has less caffeine than oh yes. And that's probably honestly that's the primary reason I think I drank like blonde roast. I was thrilled about blonde roast because blonde roast had more caffeine. Oh my gosh, that's how I started drinking Starbucks iced coffee too. My sister worked at Starbucks for a very brief time and she told me how much more caffeine is in the iced coffee than the hot coffee. And so from that day forward, whenever I could get iced coffee, I would get iced coffee because of the caffeine. I was like, don't get me wrong, I need my caffeine on a daily basis, but like I was a caffeine addict in my late 20s and early, maybe even my early 30s. I'm 35 now. Maybe it was even my early 30s. Like I was all about give me all that caffeine and I have brought it back a lot. I got sick of nut pods separating. They will not separate in the dark roast. They will not separate in the dark roast. Mine like occasionally there's like a little the teeniest tiniest something something, but like it's night and day difference from a more acidic coffee. Night and day difference. Question though, didn't you have some problems with energy and whatnot the week before your period a while back? Yes. Yes. And don't forget the time change happened a week ago. Yes. No, 110%. 110%. But the brain fog type thing and like this energy issue that I've been having has been more than just the week before my period. Last week, absolutely like the whole misery of the week, I credit to all of the things because it was the time change. And it was usually y'all, I don't start feeling PMS until like 3 days before my period. And I thought my period was supposed to show up on Monday. So and here we are. So I'm like when was I actually PMSing versus feeling any other things or am I just one of the lucky ones that literally gets an entire week's worth of PMS symptoms now because um but yes, I have all of those things stacking on top of one another for that week. But the brain fog thing has been going for a long time. Like, and just the overall feeling of like unable to find my spark, like both like physically, like I have been not feeling it, whatever you want to call it. I haven't been feeling it for weeks, weeks and weeks and weeks. And just the that's not just the whole low energy during PMS. I always have low energy during PMS. And actually, interestingly enough, I have not had low energy during PMS until today. Until today. I've actually like in terms of like, oh, it's my period's coming in a couple of days. In the grand scheme of things, I've actually been feeling pretty good, especially since Monday, which is the day my period was supposed to show up. And so I was anticipating, like, I was ready to feel terrible on Monday, and I felt great. And then yesterday, I was also, in my mind, ready to feel terrible because Aunt Flo hadn't showed up, and I'm always tired during my period and right before my period, and I had so much energy yesterday. Today's the first day I actually feel like really terrible. Um, which is fine. I'll take what I can get. Talks a lot about the okay, yeah, the longer fasts. But I was like, where did the 16:8 thing even come in? Because it wasn't even mentioned in the book. It wasn't even mentioned. But I think so we get a new thing. It's easy to forget or think critically. No, I understand, and I'm always a skeptic. I'm always the one that's like, I don't this thing is trendy. I don't want it to work. And then I get mad whenever it does work. But like it was literally a night and day thing. The thing I think was it Friday or Saturday? It must have been Friday because I don't often Marco Polo Lindsay during the weekend. But I remember I was struggle bussing on Friday and I sat down at about 11:30. I made my iodine beverage with 6 drops at 11 o'clock. And from 11 to 11:30, I consumed the iodine beverage. Not more caffeine, just the iodine beverage. And then around 1 o'clock, I had gotten up and I went to go make more caffeine. I was like, I'm going to go have a Zip Fizz. And I made myself a Zip Fizz. And I'm like, I'm going to drag my sorry butt downstairs and see if I can lift before my period starts. And I got downstairs and out of nowhere, it was like a light turned on. And I had not taken a single sip of the Zip Fizz. I had not taken a single sip yet. And all of a sudden, I was like, I feel like I want to lift all the weights right now. Right now. And so I looked at the watch. I was like, how long has it been since I consumed the thing? And it was like 2 hours, 90 minutes to 2 hours from when I consumed the iodine beverage. That like all of a sudden I had all of the energy. It was just like a switch is the best way to describe it. Like it came out of nowhere, out of the blue, hit me like a wall of bricks. And I pumped the best I had pumped in weeks. And I kept going. And then I got upstairs and I sat down and I was so focused. So focused. Now, by that point, to be fair, I did have some more extra caffeine in my system. But holy moly, the caffeine was not the reason that I got that spark because I hadn't even had it yet. And I was which is what made me go, "Huh." And so Friday afternoon is when I started to feel something for it. And then Saturday, the energy stayed. Sunday, the energy stayed. Monday, the energy stayed even though I should be feeling terrible. Tuesday, the energy stayed. And it was just one of those things that I was like, "Whoa. What in the world?" So I'm going to continue to do my 7 drops and then increase it and see what the heck happens. Retail Retail and cafe Starbucks are different. For what? What do you mean? I don't think I would have thought to bring Starbucks beans purchased outside of Starbucks. Coffee for some reason makes me tired. Interesting. Kim is here. Hello. It is good to see you. And come on, click. Bessie's here too because she remembered wanting to sleep all the time since the time change. I know. Don't I know it? I feel better now. But it took me until, like I said, Friday afternoon is when like that switch flipped. But like Saturday is when I woke up and finally was like, okay, I feel normal again. And it took almost a week. They did a little in mine today, but not as bad. I love having nut pods back in my life. Um, the coffee cake flavor I haven't tried. I'm still was exactly what I planned. Did I spend $42 on a 12 pack of my favorite seasonal nut pods flavor? Yes, I did. And I still have some. I think I have I think four or five left still. So I'm still riding that peppermint mocha train every morning and it makes me so happy. So happy. I limit myself to a grande hot coffee when I switch to iced. I'll make the same amount of coffee but concentrated. Yes, definitely watch the caffeine with the anxiety. Starbucks sold at grocery stores are often different. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Oh, I finally understood what you meant by Tarbucks. Tarbucks is Target Starbucks. Haha. All right, friends. Q&A time. Does anybody have any questions or any topics that they would like me to discuss this evening? I have no specific topic in mind for you tonight, as evidenced by the title. I was like, what should we even talk about? I don't even know. And I was this close to doing a mystery box beauty unboxing live, but then I was like, I don't know if people are going to like that or not, so I ended up filming a video instead. So, stay tuned because I'm going to go back to like the whole reason I started creating content, and I have a beauty video coming out. It's just an unboxing. It was a mystery box thing that I purchased, and I was like, I wonder. Let's see what's inside. So I unboxed it in real time on camera. I don't like coffee. I don't. I need to have coffee every day, and if I don't, bad things happen. It's not just the caffeine for me. It's so much about the ritual and like that smell and everything is just morning to me. It's like get up, I do my thing, do my weigh in, whatever, get the dog out, and then I pour my coffee and then I go to whatever it is I'm going to do for my morning routine that morning. Lately, it's been coming upstairs and doing Bible study and journaling. Sometimes it's stay downstairs and sit in the recliner and read. But whatever it is that I'm doing in the morning, it's done in quiet, unless I have to like get up and go. But I don't often put myself in the situation where I have to get up and go immediately. That is the rare occasion. But it's all done in silence, and it's done with a cup of coffee in my hand. Yes, beauty. Yes. I am getting to the point where oh my gosh, you guys, I got rid of so much stuff yesterday. I did a bang up job of filling up our trash can to go out yesterday. And including a whole bunch of beauty products that are just it was time. It was time for me to get rid of them. Old palettes and things like that. And I just went through and I was ruthless. I was ruthless yesterday with the decluttering. I got rid of stuff that, like, I had boxes and stuff underneath my desk. And I'm like, I don't even know why these are here. I literally, every time I look at them to like get rid of them, I'm like, no, I think I'm going to save the stuff in this box. I never touch it. I never think about it. It finally left yesterday. I was like, this is dumb. Something happened in my head, and I don't know, maybe it was the iodine. The iodine made me go, you need to clean out all of the things right now. I got rid of expired protein powders that I had, like protein powder samples. I had an entire row of samples of different things from like PE Science from all of my orders, because instead of using the samples, I freaking hoard them like a weirdo and don't use them. And so they expired. They expired back in like July. And I'm just like, oh goodness. And I was to the point yesterday. I'm like, is it worth being like, oh, I could still have it if it was expired? I have so much protein powder that I don't need it. So like I pitched everything. I pitched it all. I cleaned out the things. I cleaned out the things. All things. Yesterday was a great day. Still figuring out the ritual aspect of it. Accidentally set my coffee timer for later. Working on finding balance. Yeah, and don't overthink it, Lissa. Like the ritual for a lot of people is to have the coffee. That's the ritual. People, and like when I was working all of my jobs and had to get up and go, whatever, coffee would just come with me. The ritual was drinking it in the car on the way to work or drinking whatever the case had to be. Like that's what the ritual was, bringing it with me. On Saturday mornings when I had rehearsals for a show, my ritual was going to Starbucks on the way to rehearsal and having coffee on the way to the rehearsal. It doesn't have to be like some big, elaborate, thought out thing. For me, the ritual part of it is having the coffee. It doesn't matter. Like if I have to get up and get ready and go to church right away, that's fine. Coffee comes with me, like that's all. That's all. Coffee has become essential. Got to stay awake driving to work. I tell you what. I was never a coffee drinker until a few years ago, thanks to flavored coffee creamer. Oh, here goes the yawning, y'all. I had enough to make it sweet and kill the coffee taste. I used to be like that. My gateway drug. This is how it happened, y'all. We're literally going to spend the entire live stream talking about coffee if someone doesn't come up with another topic. Oh my gosh, we're going to do it. Guys, I just realized it was 7:40 already. How did that happen? When I don't remember if it was when Starbucks was popular or when I just remember it. My aunt took us out, me and my sisters out, because she had us for the day or whatever. And we went to Starbucks and I got a brownie frappuccino. And I thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And, unhealthy, overweight, I don't know, 12-year-old Brianna, 10-year. I honestly can't remember how old I was. I cannot remember. I had to be an early teenager. Um, but I had this extra sweet, chocolatey, delicious beverage, and I felt cool because I was at the Starbucks place. I was at the coffee place, and I could get away with getting Starbucks without having to get coffee because I thought coffee was disgusting. My dad drinks it every single day, and I was like, ugh, coffee. Why would you do that? And then so over the years, I would try their frappuccinos and stuff, and then their caramel apple cider was one of my other favorites. I would get the non-coffee beverages. And then over time, I dabbled in like the Java chip frappuccino, things with coffee in them, or like the mocha and the peppermint. I would get a peppermint hot chocolate, then I graduated to peppermint mocha. And then the kicker was because I'm spoiled rotten. Um, in school, I went to a small Lutheran school. And in that small Lutheran school, that was one street, real small, in the building that contained the theater, they put a Starbucks in the year before I got there. So there was literally a full functioning, real, legit Starbucks on campus in the building that I would go to all the time because I was in theater. And when you're in theater and you're doing rehearsals and all that stuff, you get Starbucks all the time because you need the coffee. And my aunt, who is child free like me, I am like the new version of my aunt because I'm child free and have nephews and nieces to dote on. My aunt made me a deal of tying her credit card to my Starbucks card, and I had a refill every single month. And she goes, and if you refill it twice in 1 month, it better be because there's a boy involved. Like I'll let it slide. Um, so I constantly had money on my Starbucks card that I did not have to pay for, which meant I could go to Starbucks whenever I wanted. And once I discovered the joy of coffee and espresso beverages and like actually drinking coffee, it was all over. It was all over because I had constant access. I had constant access to Starbucks when I was in college. And that created the monster. But it did not take long for the coffee addict to just dig deep roots in here. And it's also like my husband and I both love Starbucks. We actively seek out Starbucks over any other brand of coffee. I'll go local places, but like if we want like our tried and true, it's Starbucks. It's not Dunkin' or anything like that. Um, and I said this in my healthy meeting earlier, and I can't even remember why, but Sam's Club versus Costco. I'm a brand loyalist. I'm very, very much a brand loyalist. And because of that, I've always been Starbucks. I've always been Starbucks. So my goodness. Yes. Yes. So I adapted to I went from absolutely no coffee taste, 10 flies when you're having fun. Yes, it does. To all the coffee. Give me dark roast, just cream. Oh my gosh. It's more about the routine timing and drinking it. Funny because now you're all about the dark, strong coffee. I know. Isn't that weird how like that evolution happened? And now what started as I'm not going to drink the coffee flavored beverages. Now I'm like dark roast, just cream. Thanks. Like the evolution of a coffee snob. Get up, pour the coffee, do the bathroom skill, get dressed, sit down. Yep, that's pretty much what I do. Oh man, my headache is right here, and I don't know what that's about. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. I'm a Wawa coffee drinker. My father-in-law is obsessed with Wawa. He loves it. He does not drink coffee. Neither of my in-laws drink coffee, which is infuriating. I finally got them to have a coffee pot because we go down there so often, and Eric's youngest sister also drinks coffee. So whenever we're there, there's a coffee pot and everything, but they don't drink coffee at all. But he loves the food at Wawa, and I haven't been yet. But he will actively, when we're driving home late at night, he will make a stop at Wawa. My father-in-law, not my husband, my father-in-law. He loves Wawa. We got a new Dutch Brothers right next to Starbucks. Oh, nice. Nice. I want to go to there's a Starbucks roastery in downtown Chicago, like one of the big fancy ones. I would love to go over there. Can I get something that I can't get on the on the, regular Starbucks menu, or will I even like the specialty things? No idea, but I wanna say that I did it because coffee snob. I need a shirt that says coffee snob on it. Cute shirt, cute text, cute writing, right colors, coffee snob, because it's the truth. It's the truth. Oh my goodness gracious. Can't get over Starbucks prices. I do it now and again. Most of the time I leave disappointed because of the cost versus the product. Yeah, and it depends on what you get. See, most of the time, my husband and I get dark roast coffee. Like we get the cheapest thing on the menu. But occasionally I will splurge, and it does make me laugh when like my grande peppermint mocha is like a $5 beverage or whatever, and my coffee is not. Um, but we are also spoiled, and when we go and get Starbucks, we only ever go and get Starbucks, because it's not exactly in a place that I go to on a regular basis. It's not far. It's like 6 or 7 minutes away, but it's literally in the direction that I never drive. And weirdly though, this okay, that's not a legitimate excuse because I don't stop at the one at Target either. For us, a Starbucks run is usually tied to a road trip. So any day that we're on the road, we stop at Starbucks first. And even if it's a 3-day road trip, every morning we'll find a Starbucks. But it's road trip, so we get like a breakfast that we know we can trust, that our bodies like, that's high in protein, like all of those things. So we'll spend a stupid amount of money on Starbucks on the road. We really will. And we have no qualms with it because it's just what we do. It's our routine. My dad has a Keurig. I don't like it. I don't like Keurigs anymore either. Although I will say this, my grandparents have a Keurig, and they have a Keurig that has the strong button on it. And we use on ours has a bold brew option, and that's what we use. So we use dark roast and we bold brew it. That's how strong we like our coffee. But in my grandfather purchases from Costco the Kirkland pods for I think it's the dark roast, whatever their dark roast is. And then you hit the strong button, and I'll admit it does not make a bad cup of coffee. It doesn't. So if I had to use a Keurig, which is hilarious because I loved Keurig years ago, um, the strong button is a good way to do it. Oh, nice. I'm a Diet Coke fuss me for drinking it. I tell him his coffee is Diet Coke to me. Yeah, and that's my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law loves her Diet Coke. Although I was not, nothing against you, but the book I just finished reading was all about how talking about how sugar not ideal, not a great thing. Artificial sweeteners just as bad. And I'm just like, yeah, yeah. So like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? Um, but I like that the coffee it has more health benefits than detriments. Is that the right way to phrase it? Coffee, not a bad addiction to have, but of course, with anything, you can do too much, and I have to like cut myself off of caffeine during a certain time of day, or I won't sleep. Like, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I was about to read your comment and realize I can click on it. Unsweetened ice cream tea, but I stay in and drink it to get refills. Yeah, I have not stayed in a Starbucks in a very long time. Drive through. Hope someday. I have hopes of like things feeling normal again very, very soon. We went to a restaurant, we went to church. I'm contemplating going to the mall. Like it's it's starting to feel a little bit normal. It's starting to feel normal. Visiting big fancy Chicago Starbucks. Yeah. I mean, if you want a bucket list Starbucks to go to the one in Seattle. Like the OG, right? Um, I don't know. Is the original one like a big fancy one? I don't even know. Um, did you type that just to see if I could say it? Because I don't know. What is it? A frugige? Gige. Is it French? A frugige. I don't know. Tell me what it is, and I'll be able to tell you. Because based on that word, I cannot tell you if I have had one or not. Honestly. Wow. What's hilarious? I'm just sitting here thinking, what am I going to title this? And the thing is, I could literally title this "Coffee Chat." Oh, the original is really small. Like, and that makes sense. That makes sense. I wasn't sure if they would have like built up around it or if they wanted to keep the authenticity of like the original building. Oh. is the largest. Of course it is. Of course it is. Sweet Home Chicago. I need to get over there and check that out. Oh, and maybe go to a show. Wouldn't that be nice? I have not. I have not had that. And I thought that's what you were talking about. I'm like, that word sounds familiar, even though I couldn't like say it. I have not had that, but I have heard of that. But it's not something I've personally tried. I have not actually done. I've done espresso beverages, but the only time I've done like give me an espresso. I've got to, okay, okay. See, I just thought you were getting fancy and French on me there, Rosie. Affogato, yeah. I don't know if I'm still don't know if I'm saying it right. I know. I've heard so many good things. I'm gonna go at some point. I definitely am. So good. Yeah, I'm so good. I'm so good. It sounds so good. You can't go wrong. Like you put the sweet milk in espresso anyway, so it stands to reason that ice cream would be freaking awesome, right? Um, Oh my goodness. All the coffee talk, you guys. All the coffee talk. And here's the thing. I honestly can't think of like what's a better subject for us. I really can't think of something profound to say today that wouldn't start to repeat content that I already have coming out for you on my vlog. Things like that. Your keyboard is how fancy. You have a bilingual keyboard. I do not have a bilingual keyboard. At least okay, so it was French. I'm not crazy. I'm like, that looks French and not a typo. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Does anybody have anything that they want to talk about this evening? Any nutrition questions? Any regular questions? Personal questions? Um, anything. Oh my gosh, y'all are about this one in Chicago. I live about an hour from there. It's so busy every time we're up there. Yeah, that would be the thing is I've like back when I lived out in that area, I'd be like, you know what sounds like a really great Wednesday 9 a.m. train ride downtown, stop to the Star, go to the fancy Starbucks. Because why the heck not? And because I like to do all of my excursions out there. Like the best day was when I bought my condo out there. And we were downtown signing papers on like a Tuesday morning or like early afternoon. And after my lawyer took me out to lunch afterwards, and then because my husband was working, so he was away, so I had to sign for both of us. And it was late November, so it was Christmas season in Chicago. So do you know what I did? Once we parted ways, he's like, "Do you want to ride home?" And I was like, "No, I'll take the train, and I'm just gonna hang out down here for a while." I went and looked at all of the Marshall Fields windows, which is now Macy's, but it'll always be Marshall Fields in my heart. And I went to the Chris Kindle Mart, which had no people in it. The hot nut booth was open, the ornament shack was open, it was all open. But because it was like a random Tuesday afternoon, no one was there. And it was awesome. That was not the day. There was another day I was randomly downtown and I went to the Nutella Cafe by myself because I happened to be downtown and I was like, there's no crowd. I'm going now because now is the chance. I have small list of places I want to visit, and the Chicago area is high on the list. How's Gracie? She's great. She's not in here. She's mad at me today because I've been busy doing stuff all day, and so she has only eaten like probably 25 kibble total today because she's a doofus and won't eat without us, and I haven't been downstairs to play with her. But she's good. She's good. She's a stinker. She used her play button right today, guys. I was literally sitting at the table, like eating my Cadbury cream egg and poking around on my phone, and all of a sudden I hear play. I was like, oh my gosh, now I can't not go play with her even though I have to be upstairs in 10 minutes because she actually used it unprompted when I was at the other side of the room. Like usually we have to be like in the proximity of the buttons in order for her to use them, and she used it right. And she hit the right button. She didn't have to go pedaling around for buttons. She hit the right button on the right occasion to get my attention. I was so proud of her. I was so proud of her today. It's because I have to wait. Oh, French for your internship. Okay. Nice. So Gracie's doing well. She's She's getting there with her button training. Pretty soon we're going to have to give her more buttons. I'm thinking it might be time for a mommy and a daddy button. What she hasn't figured out, well, there hasn't been a reason for her to pair things up yet because she has 5 buttons. She has food, water, potty, play, and then she has a help button. And I put the help button there so anytime that there was an occasion where I had to help her, I could use it as a teaching moment. And she will occasionally hit the help button, but I don't think she means it. So like she'll hit in her button smash mode, she will hit help and then she will hit play, which is not wrong, but I don't know that she's doing it on purpose. That type of thing. So I don't know. But she's getting the button training thing, which makes me so happy because for a while I felt like it was all for naught. Now the problem is she. What is this for your dog? I'm teaching my dog to talk. Not joking. I have buttons for her, and it's called button training. And so Gracie has different buttons, and she's learning what the buttons mean with the goal of her being able to communicate with us using verbal words. So today, while I was sitting at the table, completely ignoring her, finishing up my dessert, I hear play. And it was Gracie who had walked up to her button and demanded that I play with her. And it's like so extra, but also so stinking fascinating. It's so stinking fascinating. So like what we've been trying to do is because she doesn't hit the right button all the time. She's good at play, which I knew she would be once she figured it out. Because now she will also, if like we take a toy from her and we're not quick enough to give it back or something, she'll walk right up to play. I'm like, Gracie, yes, okay, we'll throw it. But then she started like I don't know if it's like throwing a tantrum or she wants something else and she can't tell us what it is because she doesn't have a button for it yet. But the thing she started doing is like Eric and I will be on the floor, and it's usually with Eric. But if he's on the floor playing with her, and like he'll have a toy in his hand, and like be actively trying to play with her, and she'll stop, and she'll go and she'll hit play, and we're like, Gracie, we're literally playing with you. What do you want? And like she stops what she's doing and then she'll hit play, but then not play with us. So then we're sitting there going, what is it you actually want? What is the missing button that you don't have? Because it's obviously not one of the ones that are listed here. So she's so smart. It took her a lot longer than I thought it would, but she's also 5. It's not like training a puppy where like if we did this for her 6 months in or even at a year, she probably would have taken to it a lot faster. But since she's an old dog, teaching her new tricks took a little while longer, but she's finally I was so proud of her. I'm like, of course you did this freaking right before I had to go upstairs and ignore you, but she used it appropriately. She's a Yorkie. She's a little 7.5, 8-pound ball of sass. Gracie. Have you not seen Gracie on my channel? Do I need to pull up a Gracie picture? Because I will. I will. Oh my gosh, my neck is killing me too. Y'all, I feel like I'm falling apart, but I also have energy at the same time. It's a very, very weird thing. Feeling all of those feelings. Like I'm like, oh, I just hurt. I just hurt today. But that's not abnormal. Where is my favorites album? There it is. I found it. Good night, April. Good night. She's Lissa's not wrong. She's the real diva behind this channel. Here's a picture of my girl. Can you let me turn the brightness down. How do I turn the brightness? There we go. There's so much happening, y'all. There she is. That's my little ball of sass. She's got an attitude, y'all. She's got an attitude. She's a special snowflake, but I love her to bits. She's sassy. She growls at you. She like in a fun, playful way. Like if you sit there and you're ignoring her, like I catch it on film all the time. Stay tuned to my Instagram stories because she thinks I'm not looking at her, but I'm looking at her through the phone. So in her mind, I'm not looking at her. I'm paying attention to my phone, and she will sit there and she will. Like she throws a legitimate tantrum. It is absolutely hysterical. It's hysterical. She is the real star of my channel. Let's be honest. She's the real star of my channel. Oh my gosh. If you guys have not seen her, go after this is done, which will be in, not that long. go to my channel, and one of the most recent vlogs I uploaded is called a full day in the life of a full-time dog mom. That is one to watch, because she's stinking funny. And it has a lot of Gracie in it. What else has Gracie done recently? Gracie has done there's a video of her as a puppy way back on my channel. But it's there. It's video clips of our first couple days with her and her little chubbiness, and she was only 2.5 pounds, and she was so cute. She has a bark box unboxing video on my channel, and she's in a lot of my content, but she's a spark plug, that one. She's super cute. And the bark box unboxing. Good night, Rosie. Thanks for hanging out. All right, my friends. Unless we have any other pressing matters that we should address, it is probably time for us to depart ways for the evening, because everybody needs to go to bed, apparently, myself included. Because, oh man, you ever get like that cramp in your neck that's like you feel like you need to crack it, but you can't? That's where I'm at. Like epic tension that is uncrackable. It's really frustrating. But that's okay. That's okay. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. This was so much fun, even though literally the entire chat was about coffee. I hope you're not mad about it, because I'm not mad about it. I love me some coffee. Coffee snob, coffee queen. So it's pretty funny that I can title this coffee chat, even though it was not coffee chat. Falling asleep and feel anxiety attack coming on. Take that. So you need to take all the CBD. CBD and sleep is the way to go, my friends. So I'm going to let you go here. Thank you for hanging out. Take care. And I will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Have a good one.